You are standing outside a private bank in downtown Manhattan. It is raining. Not heavy rain, just enough to make the sidewalk shine like glass. Behind you, people are rushing into black cars, holding coffee, checking watches, acting like time belongs to them. In your hand, your phone is unlocked. The screen shows one number. $50 million. A number so large that the younger version of you would have thought life ended there. No more fear. No more pressure. No more checking prices before ordering food. But your hand is shaking. Not because you are broke. Not because your card declined. This time, the fear is different. Your banker is standing near the glass door, waiting for your answer. A wire transfer is prepared. One signature, one decision. And a voice on the phone says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" You look across the street. A man walks past with a cheap backpack holding a sandwich wrapped in paper. For a second, you see yourself in him. The old you. The version who had less than nothing. The version who thought money would solve the shaking. But now you have more money than almost anyone you know. And somehow the same fear is still here. Only dressed better. Only quieter. Only more dangerous. You do not sign yet. Because somewhere between $0 and $50 million, you made one mistake that almost cost you everything. And to understand that moment, you have to go back to zero. Actually below zero. At negative net worth, your money is not yours. Your paycheck arrives, but it does not stay. It passes through your account like a stranger walking through a room. Rent takes one piece. Credit cards take another. Student loans wait in the corner. Car payments breathe down your neck. Every dollar already has an owner before you even touch it. This is the level where your life feels small. Not because you lack dreams, because everything feels urgent. You wake up and check your banking app before you check the weather. You already know it will be bad, but you look anyway. At work, you smile, you answer emails, you say I am good. But inside, one question keeps tapping your chest. What happens if something goes wrong? A flat tire is not a flat tire. It is a financial emergency. A dentist appointment is not healthcare. It is a threat. This is the part nobody sees. People see your shoes. They see your phone. They do not see the debt sitting behind your face. At this level, shame becomes a habit. You avoid phone calls. You avoid looking too closely at your own life. And the most dangerous part is not the debt. It is what the debt does to your identity. You start believing you are bad with money. You start believing this is just who you are. But one day, you stop pretending. You sit down. You open the numbers. You look at the debt without flinching. And for the first time, you realize the monster is smaller when you stop hiding from it. Because the day you face the number is the day the number starts losing power. Zero sounds like nothing. But when you have lived below zero, zero feels like oxygen. You pay down the last bad balance. You close the app. You open it again because your brain does not trust peace yet. No negative sign, no red number. Just zero. And nobody claps. Nobody sends flowers. Nobody understands why you sit in your car for 3 extra minutes before going inside. The room is the same. The bills are still there, but your mind is different. For the first time, your paycheck is not already dead. It has a chance. At zero, you meet a new version of fear. Not the fear of debt, the fear of going back. You become careful, sometimes too careful. Your brain still lives in survival mode even though the numbers have changed. This is where many people get stuck. They confuse safety with growth. They become so afraid of losing zero that they never build above it. So you start with something small. $20 saved. Then 50. Then 100. And slowly, money stops being only something you owe. It becomes something you keep. The first $1,000 does not make you rich. it makes you harder to break. That is different. When your account crosses $1,000, nothing dramatic happens. The sky does not open. Your boss does not respect you more. But your nervous system notices. A strange calm enters your body. Just a little space between a problem and a crisis. A flat tire becomes annoying instead of terrifying. A late paycheck becomes stressful instead of deadly. This is the first wall. Small, thin, easy to break. But real. Money is emotional protection, not happiness, not meaning, not love. Protection, it protects your sleep. It protects your choices. It protects your dignity when life tests you. But this level brings temptation. Because after years of saying no, your heart wants one yes. You tell yourself, I deserve this. And maybe you do. But money does not care what you deserve. Money only responds to what you repeat. One emotional purchase can turn into a pattern. One pattern can quietly rebuild the cage you just escaped. This is where you learn the difference between relief and discipline. Relief says, finally I can spend. Discipline says, finally I can breathe. You are not rich yet. But you are no longer helpless. And that matters more than anyone can see. At $10,000, your confidence changes. Quietly, you do not announce it. But you feel it. And then the world starts whispering. You should upgrade. You should reward yourself. You should look like you are winning. This is where many people lose the first real money they ever build. Not because they are stupid. Because they are human. You buy things to silence old shame. You spend to reward the version of you that survived. You want to be seen as successful before you are actually stable. This is the status trap. It does not always look like a sports car. Sometimes it looks like a nicer apartment you cannot comfortably afford. Sometimes it is sending money to family while quietly resenting them. At this level, you learn that wealth has boundaries. Without boundaries, your money becomes public property. So you start practicing a sentence that feels cruel at first. I cannot do that right now. The first time you say it, your stomach tightens. The second time, you feel selfish. The third time, you feel something new. Respect for your own future. At $100,000, your money can now become more money. Not quickly, not magically, but slowly. Through ownership. Through assets. Through patience. Through decisions that feel boring in public and powerful in private. Some people increase their income and immediately increase their lifestyle. Every raise becomes a new payment. Every bonus becomes a new obligation. Their life gets shinier, but their freedom does not grow. You choose differently. You invest before you impress. You save before you upgrade. You ask, will this make me free, or will this make me look free? That question changes everything. Because the world rewards looking rich immediately. It does not reward becoming wealthy quietly. No one celebrates the money you did not spend. No one compliments the investment you made instead of the watch you bought. But private decisions build public freedom later. The first million feels unreal. You see the number and remember the old bank app, the overdraft, the rejected card, the way your chest tightened before opening bills. But your life does not turn into a movie. You still wake up with problems. You still get tired. Money did not make you untouchable. It made you less cornered. You now have options. You can leave a bad job without destroying your life. You can say no to disrespect that you used to tolerate because rent was stronger than pride. But freedom brings a new test. If your identity is built on being ahead of others, 1 million will not feel like enough. Because someone has 5. If you reach 5, someone has 20. Comparison is a machine that never stops eating. And if you feed it your piece, it will always ask for more. At this stage, wealth becomes less about buying and more about protecting. Protecting time. Protecting attention. Protecting health. Protecting your family from both scarcity and entitlement. At $20 million, normal financial problems are gone. You are not worried about groceries. You are not waiting for payday. Money has given you protection. It has given you dignity. It has given you room to think. But it has not removed being human. Your body still feels stress. Your mind still remembers scarcity. At $50 million, people assume you live without fear, but your fear has simply evolved. You fear betrayal. You fear bad advice. You fear that everyone near you sees the number before they see you. At $5 million, another hunger appears, quieter than survival, more respectable than greed. You want your life to matter. You want the money to mean something. This is where ambition becomes dangerous. Because when you have money, expensive mistakes become easier to justify. A risky investment sounds like vision. A bad partnership sounds like expansion. Nobody tells you no as often anymore. People laugh at your jokes faster. They call your ideas brilliant before they are proven. Money bends rooms around you, and if you are not careful, you start believing the room. The old fear returns in disguise. Not fear of being broke, fear of becoming irrelevant. So you chase bigger deals, bigger circles, bigger risks. And somewhere in this chapter, the scene from the beginning starts moving closer. The bank, the rain, the phone call, the wire transfer, the shaking hand. At $50 million, normal financial problems are gone, but it has not removed being human. Your body still feels stress. Your mind still remembers scarcity. You fear betrayal. You fear bad advice. You fear raising children who do not understand effort. You fear that everyone near you sees the number before they see you. Then the deal appears. A massive opportunity. A chance to turn $50 million into something much larger. The people around you are excited. They use words like access, legacy, generational, rare, but something feels wrong. Not loud wrong, quiet wrong. The kind of wrong your younger self ignored because you wanted to believe. And now we are back at the beginning. The rain. The glass door. The banker waiting. The voice asking, "Are you sure you want to do this?" This time you finally understand why your hand is shaking. It is not because you are poor. It is because the poorest version of you is still inside, still afraid that enough will disappear if you stop reaching. You look at the banker. Then you look at the phone. The number is still there. $50 million. A number you once thought would turn you into someone else. But it did not. It only revealed every version of you that money had been covering. The broke version. The scared version, the ashamed version, the ambitious version. They are all still there. Money did not erase them. It gave you the power to face them. Wealth is not the moment people think you won. Wealth is the moment you no longer need to prove that you won. So you do not sign. Not because every risk is bad. You do not sign because this decision is not coming from wisdom. It is coming from the old wound. And for the first time, you do something your younger self could not afford to do. You walk away. No announcement. No speech. Just one quiet decision. You step outside into the rain. The same city. But you are not the same person. At negative net worth, money was survival. At 0, money was relief. At 10,000, money was protection. At 100,000, money was discipline. At 1 million, money was options. At 5 million, money was boundaries. At 50 million, money became a mirror. And the mirror showed you the truth. Money can buy space. Money can buy safety. Money can buy time. Money can buy better problems. But money cannot make the final decision for you. That part is still yours. Because you do not become wealthy in public. You become wealthy in private. In the moments nobody sees. When you say no. When you wait. When you choose assets over applause. when you stop confusing more with free. And when you finally understand that the richest version of your life is not the one with the biggest number. It is the one where your money serves you instead of becoming another master. If this story made you think about your own money and the number you are chasing, subscribe to The Hidden Ledger. Because the next story is not just about getting richer, it is about becoming harder to control.